What's up, everybody? It is D to the J with the roll away, and I'm going to let you know now this video is not for the faint at heart. So let me put that out there right now. This video that I'm about to do is not for the faint at heart. So let me say that again. I'm about to tell it like it is. If you don't like it, you better get off now. Okay, here's the way things go. I'm a person that can take a lot. I'm usually a person that can handle a lot. I'm usually a person that can deal with a lot. But honestly, when I get to a certain point, that's it. There is no more. And I'm gonna be honest, I deal with that a lot in life. And then that's the person that I am. I've always been that person. I take and 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 take until I can't take anymore. I do and do and do and do and do and try and try and try and try and try and push and push and push and push and push until I can't. And hey, Tiffany, that's where I'm at. So this video right here is going to be real. It's going to be raw. It's going to be unfiltered. Because I'm going to let y'all know now I don't have time for BS and I don't have time for anything else. Okay? The gloves are off. The filter's off. Everything right now is off. I'm going to tell you like straight like it is. So I said a minute ago, I'm a person when I see something wrong, I try to help. When I see an issue that I don't like, I try to solve it. I try to fix it. I try to rescue it, as I've been told. Okay. I'm not afraid to be who I am. Okay. But one thing I'm not going to do is say I'm going to do something and not do it. I've never been that type of person. I can't say I've never done it, but I'm going to be honest and say right off the bat, I try really, really hard not to be that person to say I'm going to do something and not do it, because my attitude and the only thing that I have that someone can't take away from me that's true is my word, and it's always been that way. And I really, I truthfully have been fed up with this situation for a long time, and I keep kind of, no, everything's gonna be all right. They're gonna realize. They're gonna realize. They're gonna realize. They're gonna realize. They're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix it. They're gonna fix it. What's up, Big Dave? Happy Palm Sunday. Love you, brother. I'm the type of person that, as I've said before, when I say something, my word is my bond, and if I say it, come hell or high water, it's gonna happen. And you can ask anybody who knows me personally what my word means to me. So now, when I stick my neck out for somebody, and when I say stick my neck out, I'm going to be honest. When I put my ass on the line, it's my ass flapping out in the breeze, not yours. When I put my neck out for somebody and I do it because I want to do it, it's because I chose to. And I may do that 2 or 3 or 4 or 10 or 15 times for the same person that I'm trying to help. But eventually, I'm going to get to the end of my motherfucking rope. And that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. I have tried to help this person. I've tried. I've shown them. I've talked to them. I've walked with them, so to speak. I've listened to them. I've argued with them. I've cried with them. I've laughed with them. All of it. No more. No more. And I'm sitting here saying this because it needs to be shown that everybody in life, even me, has a breaking point. See, the truth is, I love to help people. But when you're on the outside of a situation, you can see it more clearly sometimes than they can. Whether they want to admit it or not, you can see what's going on and why. Okay? You can try to tell them, you can try to show them, you can give them the tools to help themselves, and they can either help themselves or fall flat on their face. That's their choice. You know, it's funny. My shirt says, if you can't laugh at yourself, let me do it for you. And this situation now is almost laughable because I'm at the point of point break stupid as many times as I've done this. And so many people have said to me, why are you still in this situation? Let it go. Let it go. Just don't deal with it anymore. It's not worth it. It's really not. It's really not. Because it becomes easy for a person to make you think that you're wrapped around their little finger. And you're doing exactly what they want you to do. I've told you to get out of it. I've shown you why. I've explained to you to stop. I've explained to you to change it. And you keep saying, I know, I understand. And that's the sad part. You do know. And you do understand exactly what you're doing. I have poured my time, my heart, my soul, my everything into this. And you keep doing the same damn thing every week. Same thing. But my hard-headedness is, nah, it'll change. Nah, it'll change. Nope, they're going to fix it. Nope, they're going to change it. Nope. If you would have wanted to change it, you would have changed it by now. So you pushed me closer and closer to the edge. Closer and closer to the edge. And yet I've remained as calm as I could, still talk to you, still help you, still love you, still care for you, all these things until today. Until today. I put myself on the line when I'm in a situation because I love to help people. But the thing that I have to realize is, and this is a hard point to realize, not everybody wants my help. Some people want to be in the situation they're in. And the funny thing is, they'll tell you they don't. They'll tell you they want to change it. They want to be different, but they're not doing anything to make you different. So yet you sit there and you go to them and you give to them whatever it is that you have to give to them. And you wait. You wait. Now all this leads up to a story that I want to tell that I didn't broadcast on Facebook because I didn't know if I should or not. You know, one thing that makes me sick is racism happens wherever you go. Racism happens Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and it makes me sick. It happens Saturday, Sunday. It makes me sick. I went out fishing Saturday with a friend. We went to Sleepy Hole Park. And it was a great day, you know, nice cloudy overcast. The fish weren't biting very well. And I'm over in the corner of Sleepy Hole Park. I decided to throw my line out one more time. And I'm fishing with a buddy of mine, you know, where he's over there and, you know, doing his thing. And I met a young guy that was fishing and we were talking. And he had already caught, you know, 2 catfish based on where he was. So he thought the area he was in was dead. So he jumped over to another spot, and I jumped in his area, and I threw that line in that water so fast. And when I did, about 10 minutes later, I felt something take my pole down, and I mean, my pole bent down. Swoop! That fish hit that pole, and it was like, okay, we got something on line. So I jerk up real hard, and I start reeling. I said, oh, come on, mama. I say, something's on the end of this line. And I'm reeling, and I'm reeling, and I'm reeling. That sucker's out there. I mean, I'm reeling. He's 80, 90 feet out there. And I'm just reeling, getting my pole in. And that pole was just a bending, and he's just fighting. I said, yeah, he's on there. Well, we get him up, and I can't get him up over the edge of the dock. And my friend grabs the line, and it's a blue catfish. I mean, he's every bit of 24 inches long. Every bit. He's at least 3 or 4 pounds. Big, big fish. I got a picture of him on Facebook. Tiffany, I could not agree more, sweetheart. I absolutely should, because this is how you feel, and others have been taking advantage of you. You're absolutely right. So I'm sitting there, and we reel the fish in and get the fish off the hook, get the water in the bucket, and the fish is sitting in the bucket. And a gentleman sitting on the opposite side of me, my buddy gets ready to leave, or the friend that I met gets ready to leave, and he asks a gentleman. He says, "Do you want these 2 fish?" He says, "I'm not going to take them home." And the gentleman says, "Sure, yeah, I'll take them." And I look over to the same gentleman. I said, "Hey, you want to add to the pot? I've got one more over here." He says, "No, I don't want any bad luck." And I turn, I say, "Oh, okay, I see how that is." And immediately he knows he's in the wrong. Immediately knows he said what he said out of his mouth, and he's just looking at me like, "Oh man, I done fucked up now." And I'm just sitting there. And I'm waiting, because I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to let this fish die. I've only caught 1 fish. So I decided to let the fish go, and we dropped the fish back in the water, and he heard that fish hit the water, and he goes, "Oh." Like, man, I should have taken that fish that he offered. And the thing about it is I'm sitting there and I just smile as the fish hit the water, and he looks at me like, "Oh, man." And I said, "Well, I offered it to you. You didn't take it. That's on you." And the sad part about it is, now after this happened, he wanted to be my friend, and he wanted to talk to me. He wanted to find out who I was. I said, "I'm sorry. That chance is come and gone." So there's an old proverb: give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for a lifetime. You know, the funny thing about life is we often want to give people the answers. And that's my problem. I do that. I try to fix it for people. I try to help people too much. I try to get involved in situations that I long shouldn't be involved in because they chose. Now, this particular situation that I'm talking about, I had a hand in it, but it wasn't the hand that I thought I had. So again, I keep sticking myself back into the situation, reinserting myself back into the situation over and over and over, trying to get this person to realize what they're doing. And everybody else is telling them the same thing that I'm telling them, yet, but they don't change it. They don't change it. See, that's where I should have cut the tie right there. But I didn't do it. I sat there and I sat there and I sat there and I let this person do what they do over and over and over. And they say they don't want to. They say they don't want to lose me. They say they miss me. They say they need me. They say they love me. They say all of these things. But yet they keep doing the same pattern over and over and over. Last two comments by Tiffany I want to read right here. And we have hearts as humans. We just keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. And they think, like you said, it's absolutely crazy. And we do keep hoping that they're going to change. And nothing ever does. Well, see, that's where this gets a little bit different. Because when this person changes, it's going to be too late because I'm not going to be there. See, I don't put myself on the line like this. I've had to shut myself off because it doesn't pay when you show a person something, and whether they deny it or whether they don't want to see it or whether they change it or they don't change it, I can't worry about what I can't control. And for me, that's hard because I like to have my hands in everything. I really do. And I have given several people the benefit of the doubt. Several. Over and over and over. No. Not anymore. I will try to help you out. But depending on the situation, the first time you screw me over, I'm done. And I say depending on the situation because some people truly can't help it. Some people are really trying to make a difference. Some people are in a situation they just can't get out of because they are stuck. And I get being stuck. You know what? I've been there. You know, I always talk about Waynesboro and the good times that I had with my friends. But I never talked about the bad times. The boredom that I felt. Couldn't get to the store when I wanted to. Couldn't go somewhere when I wanted to. How hard it was to find a ride. How tough it was to keep going. How tough it was to get to and from work for 10 years. I fought. And Waynesboro became my home because I made it my home. But you know what bothers me? And I'm going to tell you why it bothers me to the point of I just don't understand it. People say they care about you, and people say they love you, and people say they want to be with you, and they want to see you, and they want to, but they don't make the effort to drive down one time. One time. And there's always the excuse, oh, I've got work, I've got this, I've got that, I've got kids, I've got dogs, I've got. It's always what they've got. Well, what about the sacrifices I motherfucking make? I am tired of people using me as a doormat. I am tired of people walking over me like I'm nothing. And that crap stops right here. Because I'm the one that's letting it happen. And the funny part is, the people you think care about you, they don't care about you. They're in it for themselves. There are very few, and I mean, I can count them on my hands that actually care. And the sad part is, I let it happen. I took them in. I gave them money. Now, I'm not saying they didn't help me out. They gave me rides to work. They came and got me. We laughed and cried together. I get that. I'm not saying that didn't change. But the problem is, when you're a true friend and you say you're a true friend, can't you come down at least once? Can't you come down at least once? You can make all the excuses in the world of why you can't. You can make all the excuses in the world of why you can't or why you won't, but you can't tell me why you can. And you think I'm just going to sit here in my little chair and constantly try to call your ass and tell you to come down here, beg you to come down here? You think it's rough because you got a kid? Let me tell you what's rough. What's rough is not caring about yourself enough to realize that you need time for yourself. Not realizing that you are important, but worrying about what everybody else wants to talk about, and you get drawn into that crap. And I sit here and I do shows every Wednesday trying to reach people, trying to show people that their voices need to be heard and their stories matter and their opinions matter and their thoughts matter and their worths matter and all of that. But it doesn't matter if I put them on and they don't see it. Where does it go? Where does it go? If I've got to tell you 30 times that you're worth something and you don't see it, what does it do? You've been in a dark, scary place in your life for so long that you don't go towards the light because the only thing you know how to do is surround yourself with darkness. You know, one of the greatest stories right now that's going on is the Masters just concluded, or is concluding today. The fourth round is just concluding today. And Tiger Woods played in the Masters. He finished the first round with a -1. Tiger Woods was involved in such a horrific accident. They thought he was going to lose his leg and never play golf again. I've been a fan of Tiger Woods ever since he first came out. I've seen mostly every tournament he's played in, every championship he's won. I have looked and been a follower of Tiger Woods his entire career. I know he did some stuff he shouldn't have done. I know he went through some stuff that he had to go through, and I know that he knows about what he did, and he's paid for it, and the consequences he's had to go through. But this man right here, playing in this tournament today, all the way through 4 days after that horrific accident he had, is an amazing story. And we look at stories like that, and they happen all the time. They happen. But do we truly acknowledge them? Do we truly acknowledge the miracles of our lives? No, it didn't, Jed. It did not stop him at all. But see, the problem is, and what you've got to realize is there's a drive in there that nobody talks about. He had to be the person to get up off his butt and say, I want to play golf again. He had to be the person to get up and say, I'm going to push myself through pain, through hell, and through high water to get back on the tee, to get back to where I play. And you know the first tournament he played in? The Father and Son Invitational with his son Charlie. And I knew then that Tiger Woods would be back to his old self. It's going to take time, but that man, mark my words, he will win one more championship before he's done. And let's just remember, he just won in 2020. That was 2 years ago. But see, I talk about drive and commitment and dreams all the time. All the time. This young lady that just left this comment was on my show 2 weeks ago. I've been paralyzed for almost 10 years now, and we went and traveled to see more than any so-called friends of mine who weren't friends of mine. And before the accident, now I only have my husband and my daughter and my mom, my younger brother, and before the accident to now. But I also have God closer to me than I ever have. And for him, I'm thankful. But you know, all of this wouldn't have mattered if you would have given up. If Tiffany would have given up when that accident happened, it would have been all God. It would have been all God. Thank you, JP. I appreciate it. You see, that's the thing. That this comment right here is nobody has you like you have yourself. What I realize in this point in my life, and it's the hardest thing to realize, and it's a terrible taste, everybody is going to eventually let you down except God. Everybody. The only person you can truly depend on is your freaking self. And God. That's it. That's it. And sometimes you can't even depend on yourself because you don't know whether you're coming or going or which way you're at. But I want to get back to one thing that I kind of got away from. So I was talking about the drive of Tiger Woods coming back to playing the Masters. It often, all too often, takes something tragic to get yourself back on track. It often takes something tragic to get you back on track. And people forget in those times of tragedy, a lot of it is, oh, woe is me. Oh, why is this happening to me? I used to live like that. This is not my fault. Why is it happening to me? Why can't it be different? Why? Stop asking why and take fucking charge of your life. If you are smart enough to know what is going on in your life that is not right, change it. Stop being stuck. I know it's hard. I get it. I've been stuck before. But again, you listened, Tiffany. You see, that's the difference. Yes, and I've told you before, I think it was God ways to tell me to sit down and slow down and totally, wholeheartedly accepted it. You see, that's what I'm talking about. You listened. We have other people that are out there right now that are on the same path. On the same path. You keep going and going and going and doing the same stupid stuff over and over and over, you're going to lose it all. I learned in my 20s the woe is me accomplishes nothing. That is a true statement. And I said that earlier, Tiffany, right there. Yes, but you are the only one that can change what you need or want to change. And that's the realization point that a lot of people have trouble grasping. I can't do it for you. I can point you in the right direction. I can take you to the table. I can put the food on the table, but I can't make you eat it. I can lead the horse to water, but I can't make him drink. I can play with the dog, but I can't make him love me. I can take the dog for a walk, but I can't make her poo or peep. Poo or peep, wow. Poo or pee. You can show someone something a million times, but until they apply it, the idea is dead. You can show somebody something hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of times, but until they apply what you show them or what they know, it's a dead idea. And the sad part about it is so many people go with what they know because it's the only thing they know, and that's sad. I could pull this person out of it, but it wouldn't solve it. Because all they're going to do is keep going back to the same situation, the same problems, the same issues. They're not going to fix it until they're ready. Well, I have realized now I'm tired of waiting for you to fix your shit. Is what it is. I'm going to say it how it is. You don't like it? Oh well. Do something about it. Block me, leave me, get rid of me, whatever. I don't care. I am not wasting my time on you anymore. Because if you're not going to take the time to open your eyes and realize what the hell is in front of you, I'm done talking. I'm done talking. Oh shit, JP, did you hit one? So true. People trying to warn me not to do certain things as I grew up in life until I actually experienced them for myself and made that mistake on my own. I often did not heed their advice. But see, let me tell you something about you, JP. You made the mistake, but you learned from it. And it may have taken you a couple of times, but you learn from it. See, this person, I'm not sure what this person is thinking right now. I'm so confused at what this person is doing. I don't know what the hell they're thinking. And yet, I keep swimming in there. My happy little ass just right there. Every time. Every time. Not anymore. Not anymore. You push me to the edge. Now you push me over. You made your decision. You deal with it. Because I can't deal with it for you. Everybody has to fight their own fight in them. They can tell you how to do something, but they only can do it for themselves. What they can do. That's true, Jed. That's very true. If you ask for advice or go to others for help, you have to be willing to change and help yourself before you can even begin to help other people. And you know, the funny part about that statement right there, Tiffany, is I've said this so many times, and it's so valuable, but so many people don't do it. They don't love themselves first, and they don't appreciate themselves first. They say they do. They say they do. Oh, no, I'm great. No, you're not. Because if you were great, you wouldn't keep doing this shit. And the bad part is, I'm not the only person you're hurting. And what's even worse than that is you know it. What's even worse than that is you know it. And you continue to do it over and over and over and day after day after day, all because you want what you want, and it's all about you. The best part of the back is from yourself. Well, I'm going to take that one step further, Jed. The best part of you is from yourself. When you can accept who you are. You see, I'll be there for people because that's what I am. And I'm not ashamed of who I am. I'll admit it. I know I make mistakes. I know I do things wrong. I know I don't always say the right thing. I know I don't always have the answers. I know who and what I am, and I'm damn proud of it. I don't have to be anything that I don't want to be. I don't have to say anything that I don't want to say because I'm in charge of me. My parents are not. I am 40 years old. I live on my own. I pay my own shit. Nobody pays it for me. Nobody. Nobody. Let me say this to close. You've thought all this time I wasn't aware. I've been aware exactly of what you're doing. And there's going to come a time to nail you to the wall. And when that time comes, you're going to pay for everything you've done for me to me in triplicate. That is not a threat. That is a promise. You think I have no idea what's going on. You think I'm too stupid to realize it. Or maybe you don't. Maybe you know exactly what you're doing. Maybe you know everything that's going on. Maybe you intended to do all this in the first place and thought it was okay. Well, I got news for you. It's not. It's not. Some people cannot see the forest before the trees because they don't open their eyes. The problem is happening right in front of them and they are unaware of it. Or they are completely aware of it and they choose to do nothing about it. You know, the person that comes home every day and complains about their job, the person that comes home every day and complains about their life, the person that comes home every day and says, "Oh, my house is a mess," but does nothing to change it. Nothing. But yet they keep complaining and keep living in the same sorrow that they're in, and they do nothing to change it. Nothing. Well, that is on you. If you want to live your life that way, I can't change it for you. I've given you all I could give. I've said all I could say. And I've been the same DJ that I was today, yesterday, and before that. Because I don't change who I am for anybody. I used to. I made a huge mistake. I changed myself for 15 years thinking it would make a difference. I uprooted my stuff and moved. Got an apartment that I couldn't afford. Spent more money than I had. All for somebody that I thought loved me. Her own parents told me I wasn't good enough for her. I didn't care. I loved her unconditionally. I uprooted everything for her. But the problem is, I chose to do it. Hundreds of people told me this is not going to work. Don't do it. You're making a mistake. I didn't listen because I chose to do what I wanted to do. I chose me because once you hit over 18, you are responsible for your own shit. It's a life fact, people. Wake up and get over it. Once you hit 18, you don't live with your parents. You go out on your own. You find your own house. You find your own way. Now, I know some people can't do that right at 18. I know that some people can't do it right at 25. But the point is, you've got to be making an effort to sustain your own life, because I've got a news flash for everybody. Parents aren't going to be around all the time. Everybody you love and care about is going to die. They are going to wither away to nothing. And you will be responsible for you eventually. So you've got to learn to budget your money, to pay your bills, to handle your credit cards, to pay the light bill, to pay the rent, when shit is due, when it's got to be paid. Go to online banking. You got to learn all that shit. And if you don't start learning it right now, it's going to be too late. Because there's so many people that don't have the simple life skills of writing a check. Writing a check. They don't know how to set up a budget. They don't know what their monthly income is because they spend their money before they get it. They don't know what comes out of their bank account first because they rely on their mother and father to do it for them, or their aunt or uncle or sister or brother or nephew. Eventually, you are going to be on your own. And when you are going to be on your own with no life skills, that is a scary moment. Some people don't even know how to use a fucking microwave. That is sad. Some people cannot balance a checkbook because they can't add and subtract. But when it comes down to it, your wife sits there, present company excluded, and you do all this stuff. What if something happens to you and she's left by herself? Think about that. Parents pay the bills. What if something happens to your parents and you're left by yourself? You better wake up. Because I'm going to tell you something about reality. It hits hard, it hits cold, and it hits truthful. And when reality knocks you on your ass, it's tough to get back up. I thank God that my mother instilled in me to do shit for myself. I thank God that I graduated high school with a 3.75 GPA with honors. That I learned to do math verbally in my head. That I learned to add long columns of numbers to push myself to study. I'm glad my mother and brother and grandmother and grandfather made me study for hours to learn the shit that I needed to learn to live my life, the way that I live it, so I don't have to depend on anybody to do that shit for me. Now, let me say this. Everybody needs help. I get that. That's not what this is. That is not what this is. Don't take this the wrong way. I am not saying don't ask for help. I am not saying don't get help. I am not saying don't ask somebody to help you with something you need help with. But I am saying learn the simple shit. People want to go on YouTube to learn how to make footballs and learn how to do this and learn how to work on cars. Go on YouTube and learn how to fucking ad. Go on YouTube, learn how to write a check, how to write out a rent check, how to pay your bills, how to set up a budget. Learn simple life stuff now before it's too late. Learn simple shit now before it's too late and you got to rely on somebody else to do it for you. What are you going to do if they're not there? Where are you going to go? Because I got a newsflash where you cannot trust a stranger with your money. Because they're not going to help you. They're going to take it. I feel so bad for kids that are sheltered and not taught the basic skills of living. How to do laundry. How to fold clothing and put it away. How to clean the house. How to load and unload a dishwasher. You know who the dishwasher was when I was growing up? Me. And my parents. We didn't have a dishwasher. You made your water. You made your soap. You soaked them dishes. You scrubbed them mofos. You did your own. Life happens fast. Learn to live it or you will die cold and alone. And that is a hard truth. That is a hard truth. I am not trying to be hard on StreamYard. I am trying to be truthful. Realizing what you're doing before you do it. Realize what you say before you say it. And realize this. Ain't nobody gonna get the job done that needs to be done except you. You better live life before life takes over and you don't know what the hell to do. Because I will tell you, when that cold reality hits you and you're alone and you've got nobody to help you, and then you realize that you don't know what you're doing, and you've got to move, and you've got to go, and you don't know how, that's when that cold reality hits you. That's when you just can't sit on your butt and wait for somebody to do it for you. It's the simple things that will take you out. Simple. Learn simple life skills now. I said at the beginning of this video is not for the faint at heart. Because it's not. We have to stop relying on others to do stuff for us. We have to start doing shit ourselves. Taking control of our own independence. So many people don't have a will set up because we think we're young and we're going to live forever. So many people don't have a savings account set up. Oh, because disability says I can't have but so much money. So many people don't have a trust fund or some kind of an emergency savings account. Those life skills that you need are beneficial to your survival. And that's what this comes down to. Absolute survival. Newsflash. You got to be alive to survive. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.